I'm like, okay, well, I'm not supporting that anymore because that's just obnoxious as hell. I mean, we tried it one time. I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. I had the Impossible meat one because I'd
Oh.
never done the Impossible before, and
Yeah, Impossible meat's
yeah,
good.
yeah, it is.
But they overcooked my burger. Whatever Satellite Kitchen worked out of mine, it felt just like a phoned
Oof.
in, like we're slammed on a Thursday night, and I don't have time to make your double Mr. Beast dripping grease burger. I just don't have the time. So here you go. Here's
Oh
this
no,
undercooked in the middle, but like burnt to a crisp on the outside burger. Like, how did you do this?
that is
Like,
tragic.
why are your like pans set to 500 degrees? So you just burn the burger, but you don't cook the inside.
We're gonna get this thing cooked in 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got to get this thing out. I don't care if it's pink in the middle. They like that. They like that.
They're gonna get worms for all I care. The worms
Yeah.
are good for you, extra
It's
protein.
made of worms.
I've been there. All right, I believe we are live.
All right, I'll go and send this shit out.
The tweet is sent. So let me hop over to Twitch and check that.
Actually, let me do
volume
this
on my
again.
phone.
I want to do an at everyone. That way.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like we are live. Perfect. Love it. We are live. We are good.
Dope.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing, Eric?
I'm good. I've been better. This year's been a little rough to kind of start. Moving to a brand new home out of a 1-bedroom apartment into a nice 2-story house.
Seems like there's a maybe difficult adjustment period, but actually kind of for the better in the long run.
It's a little bit more on the rent, yes, but this place is really, really nice. It's definitely worth the money for it, and it was just a little tough kind of getting to start here due to the unfortunate passing of one of my cats.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, buddy. I saw that on Twitter.
The thing about that was, before I kind of do the plugs that I have written here real quick, it was, why is that? My chat is like popping up like mid, like the screen here. Hold on.
Huh.
Okay, that's hopefully that'll work there. I don't know. We were on our way back here from the apartment with both the cats and everything, and we were about, I want to say, just a couple miles outside of the city, and I noticed that she wasn't meowing anymore. So I was like, that's something's not right. Immediately, something in my head pinged that something was not correct, and I looked back there into the carrier that she was in, and she was just laying there.
Dang, just like that.
That she ended up having a stroke on the car ride over.
Oh dear.
Yeah. She was not even 5 years old.
Yeah, that was my next question, was just the age of the cat.
She would have turned 5 this year. She was a very small cat too. She was, I believe, her original owner said that she was the runt of the litter.
Oh man.
But we got her cremated. We have her ashes. We're gonna be doing some nice things with the ashes. We're making a few charms to kind of give to people that she's had an impact with, and hopefully going from there.
Yeah, man.
Beyond that, aside from that, we've been slowly trying to get the smaller stuff out of my apartment into this house, and it's a 30-minute drive from here to there. So
Yeah.
and then all the time it takes to load up totes and then bring everything over.
Stuff takes time, man. That distance. Ugh.
Thank you, Blueberry Gamer. Thank you also. Welcome to the first time here. And yeah, we weren't expecting that to happen. I mean, how could you?
No.
You can't expect something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to adjust the chat just a little bit here. Here we go. If it covers my face, I don't care.
There we go.
So let's get to the plugs here real quick. For anybody that does or doesn't know, I run a store online. I sell trading cards and stuff like that. Due to the move, I had to unfortunately close the store to get everything here. We just got you kind of see it behind me. There's 2 red totes over there.
Yeah.
Inside there is everything I have. It is full of folders. Yu-Gi-Oh folders, Magic folders, Pokemon folders. It's full. They were
Woo!
they were not a fun trip. We got everything else, and we've got all that. Hopefully that'll be opened back up sometime this month or sometime in February. I'm looking at maybe the middle. New Twitter and YouTube channel will be made for them. The Twitter's made. The YouTube channel's still in the works.
Okay. What's the Twitter handle?
Starfall Cards.
Let me get that written down.
I believe I retweeted something on it, so I retweeted the post I made on it the other day. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to drop a follow. Shoot.
But yeah, I will be posting stuff that updates on what's getting the new inventory that's being added and all that fun stuff.
Heck yeah.
The YouTube channel will basically just be used for openings and maybe some topics going over different things. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm still working on something.
I'm already on your TCG store.
Damn, you're already there?
Yep. I'm just looking around.
I'm already here. Let's look.
Why do you have 4,000 cards?
I don't know how. Wait, that's 44,000?
4,000.
Oh no, I have way more than that. It might just show like a limited stock due to the fact that the store page is currently closed.
Yo, this Yu-Gi-Oh card's super cute. Rescue Ferret?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's precious.
That just sounds great.
I like Rescue Ferret.
Like looking at the actual full stock, it's 16,000.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, and
Oh wow, this is impressive. I'm at the website right now too. This is really
Wait,
impressive.
there's all different kinds. They have Rescue Rabbit, Rescue Cat,
Rescue Ferret. Yep.
Rescue Cat alternate. Dude.
Rescue Cat's adorable. I don't care what anybody says. It's an adorable card.
Rescue. Wow, this is so cool.
Let's see.
Wow.
I bet they're not that great. Like I bet they're probably just it's like a fine card. It's the gotcha.
It's
Like,
Gotcha.
Put a deck around that nerd.
Damn.
Caleb, I love you so much.
Sorry.
It's always
Keep plugging,
It's always a
keep
pleasure
plugging.
to have you here, Caleb.
Go ahead, keep plugging.
If you aren't already, go to Peace Loving Gaming and Jay's Twitch streams and Caleb's. Go give them a follow. Do it.
Oh yeah.
It's not a request. It's a demand to do it.
Oh shit.
It's not a request.
Coming to get you.
It's a demand. Then let's see what's the last one I have. If you haven't already, and I don't know if there's any physicals left, buy this man's album.
You don't have to do that.
Get Caleb's album. Do it.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true actually. You could just stream it. There's
Yeah, you
that
could
as well.
stream it. You could
Good
YouTube-
point.
you could
He's not
not
wrong.
spend money. Go to my YouTube channel and put that in the algorithm. Get that forward. Or you can buy an album and force me to package more physical copies for you.
I had seen the thing you
Oh,
posted about like
man.
the what was it 300 to 500 orders of like you had to send out. and they just left
Jesus
you on
Christ,
hold?
sir.
It was a lot. I was more or less making light of it. It wasn't like a terrible experience. It was long, but it was satisfying. That's what I would say. It was very satisfying.
It's funny. We go to our first topic, Canes.
Are you just like trying to goad me? Is that the point?
Jay told me to do it.
I did.
I mean, I've already said what needs to be said about Raising Cane's.
Have you, Caleb?
Great.
I have. I've said all that needs to be said. There's no more that needs to be spoken on the topic.
He's just no more.
I mean, the simple fact is, if you think Raising Cane's is the best chicken finger place ever,
Say it.
you're objectively wrong. Like you live in a wrong existence. You
Love
live
the
in a
way you
wrong
say
existence.
things. You live in a wrong
you are wrong.
existence.
You are wrong.
So mad about it.
Please go get some taste buds.
Oh my
Please.
god.
Please go and get cultured. I don't know what to do for you, but
What would be a restaurant to tell someone to go to get cultured?
literally anything
Oh my god.
other than Cane's in terms of chicken finger restaurants. I'm talking anything. Maybe not. Okay, McDonald's and Burger King, that's a no-go. But like any other chicken finger place that sells it, just go there, please. And also, if you're like,
tenders, they were actually pretty good.
if you're saying but the cane sauce, I'm just letting you know, every restaurant every restaurant, every single chicken finger restaurant,
All of them
has that sauce. They all have it, and the variance in quality is negligible. The flavor of them is negligible.
Negligible.
They did not invent that sauce. They did not perfect that sauce. That sauce has been around since the 80s.
Okay.
It's great. I love it.
Got it.
But stop talking about their sauce like it's the second coming, because it's not. It's just the sauce. It's a regular sauce that I've had since I was 5.
Oh man.
Like,
I wasn't expecting.
it's a value. Now they're saying, oh, but it's really valued, Caleb. I'm like, great. Well, then why don't I just go to like a public school and go get a lunch? Because I can do that if we're just talking value, just straight nutrition, like sustenance. Let me go get the $1.80 meal from school back when I was a kid. Like, if we're just talking value and we don't care about flavor anymore.
Jay, you said he'd.
Let me go to a bakery and get the. Let me just go to a bakery and get the day-old bread. That's sustenance. That'll keep me alive.
Ooh. That week-old chowder that they store in the back.
It's funny.
Mind you, all this is also.
It's funny. I work in a bakery and we don't have that.
You just throw out the bread. Like, we don't.
No,
keep
we
it.
just all our bread is our bread is literally just stuff we make sandwiches with. Like we just have like the pastries and stuff.
I see.
Hmm.
My point is, we just stop acting like Cane's is like amazing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm also being hyperbolic. If you like Raising Cane's,
I love it.
Power to you. Like, go ahead, and eat it. That's fine.
You're good at hyperbole, Caleb.
That's fine.
That's why I love getting
you
going.
I'm really just like in terms of actual anger about a chicken finger restaurant, I'm like a 2 out of 10. I get it out. I get my real anger out in stupid topics like these.
Like Death Stranding.
Because then I don't have to be angry at real things.
Jay, you were trying to start a war right now, buddy.
No, I had 3 years of talking about Death Stranding. I've only been talking about Cane's for about a year now, so I got 2 more years of Cane's and then I'm tired.
Okay. I didn't realize that then. So you got a time limit on these things.
No, what, Jason? No, hold on. There's still more. You know
right.
Remember I was at your house, or we were talking, I was like, it's so funny that Death Stranding's like, because Donkey released that video about Death Stranding.
Great video.
Did you see it? Where he's basically complaining about the game while still actually playing it a lot, and the joke is that he's starting to like the game.
Yeah,
like, that's the
on
underlying joke, is that he hates the game, but he likes it, so it's like confusing. And I'm thinking, what's really weird, and this is I don't even know if it's a good thing, like, the game is better now because people developed the game. When I mean that literally, like, people developed the game, right? Because the whole point was to build bridges and to build roads and to build structures, build infrastructure throughout the map. That was the whole shtick. So now the game, 2 years later, is better because players themselves have created the infrastructure of the whole game now.
See, I think that just clicked with me because I didn't realize that's what he meant by strand type.
Yeah.
So if I boot up the game for the first time right now, I'm not
going
to
to have
see
to
Death
go and
Stranding.
activate a module to unlock everyone's like work they've done. You do have to do an initial mission to unlock the module.
How many gameplay hours is that?
But once you do that, you get everything. And everything that people have built is like it's like a full network. And I guess there's some satisfaction in being like the author, like quite literally the author of the infrastructure of this video game. But it just feels more like a social experiment than a video game. And I feel like I can't grade it on the scale of a video game until maybe 2 years, until maybe now. Maybe now it can be graded as a video game because it's like I'm not having to build the game.
Sure.
It's built. I can play the game as it was intended to. I have the whole thing. It also doesn't change the fact that I think, and Donkey said this in his game, his review too, and it still doesn't change anything for me. Story is bonkers. The character is bland. It's all meh. It's meh. That part for me is really meh, and I can't quite get past the characters being underdeveloped and being so caught up in misdirection and creating trope characters that I just can't. I can't get past that. Like the initial motivation to care about Bridges, care about the guy. Like, I want my stories to be rooted in a relatable character, you know, or at least a character that can be made relatable to me. I don't have to directly relate to him, but I need to believe his story.
Yeah, for sure.
That's me bloviating about Death Stranding again. Anyway,
I win.
Just like what Saber said in the chat.
I always
also,
win.
Hello, Saber. Hello, Sonny. Just like Saber said in the chat, you never let him live Death Stranding down, will you, Jay?
It is that running gag, Caleb.
There's always something. I guess clearly there's always something to say.
Oh yeah, obvious. That is the interesting thing, right? I think you're still finding some new things to like talk about with it, which because it's just it's such a strange entity of a thing.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
strange
It's an
little
experiment.
entity.
It's an experiment.
Yeah.
I'm willing to grade it on the scale of an experiment than that of the scale of a video game. Even though it is absolutely a video game, but like.
I'll get to it at some point. There's so many games, but like I will get to it at some point, and I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to doing Death Stranding so I can actually talk about it more with you in depth. Because like, listening to you. Oh, what'd you say?
You're gonna be 58 years old when you get to Death Stranding.
What an interesting age to play Death Stranding at. 58.
Maybe it'll be good by the time I'm 58. maybe the fact that Bridges is like a cardboard cutout of a character, I'll just be like, that feels real. Yep.
I get it now.
Sometimes you're just a cardboard cutout. Like, I'm relatable in his lack of attempt to be relatable. I just don't get it yet.
58, that's the goal. You got to be 58.
I just don't get it yet. That's it.
Just doesn't get it yet, fam.
Hey, that's fine. I've never played the game, never seen anything on it, so here we go. So,
You're not missing out.
it's what I've heard, and now listening to your rant, man.
It's different. It's different. Look, if you're looking to razzle dazzle, like, go for it. Like, it's cheap. Well, actually, no, it's not. They put the price back up. But
Oh yeah, director's cut.
if you're looking for something weird, Death Stranding.
There you have it.
What's next? That's not gonna have me talking for too long.
We've got that off our chest
I just seen
now.
your thing, Caleb. Just seen your tweet, Caleb.
Yeah, I'm complaining for the next 2 hours.
No, it's very interesting. The reason, and also, seriously, thanks for making it to this one today. I mean, we could have definitely scheduled this for next month, but making it today, it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
Seeing the video that you had put up about, the release of the album and everything, I think it's time.
Mm-hmm.
It was not, as anybody has said, you had us in the first half. Legit, I sat there and went, shit. Now whose music am I going to listen to? What the hell? And I was like, and then once it reached like the other half of it, I went, oh, that's clever. Way to go, Caleb. All right. But it was that entire video that got me thinking about like one of the topics that we're going to definitely touch on. And I was kind of discussing it a little bit with Jay, and it's certainly something to discuss. The first thing I kind of want to definitely discuss is I want to talk more about the album.
Sure.
Like, I took the chance. I listened to it, like the whole thing, one sitting the other day, and it is absolutely incredible.
Well, thank you.
It is like I need to get a copy of it. When I have the funding again, I'm buying a physical copy. I don't care.
Well,
I'm sure
I appreciate
my girlfriend
it.
will agree with me, but because I definitely need to show it to her too. But she's asleep right now, directly above me somewhere. I told her I'd be quiet when I was doing this, and well, I don't care. So,
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, it's such a great album, and like even as Jay and I were kind of discussing it just a little bit, like how was it you had phrased it, Jay?
Oh gosh. The
was,
album,
like-
right?
Yeah, it was like
Oh yeah. Because I was talking about the album or the video. We're on the album. I got
we're
it.
on the album.
Yeah, no, I described it as, and you've heard me describe this too, Caleb, but like the music itself is very elevating. Takes it to another place in terms of like perspective that I don't think a lot of people take the time to sit and think about, you know, in regards to time and the present and the battles of our past and the concerns of our future. But it kind of covers all those bases. But what I had said earlier was that, like Caleb, I knew you were a very musical person, very musical, and I knew that you could compose, that you had these ideas in your head. Because I remember you would tell me these ideas that you had when they were just like literally just cells in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I didn't know was that you were this poetic. I know you got words, and I know you're really good with them, but I didn't know you had this kind of prose in you. Like when I heard the music and I heard the lyrics, or even when you showed me some of the stuff, whenever when we were in the car.
Yeah.
Like you showed me, I'll Name Her Song, which blew me away, and I'm just like, didn't know you had these kind of words in you, and hell yeah, man, it's fucking good. It's so fucking good. Like your dad was right when he described you as a lyrical juggernaut. I mean that's
very kind.
That is it. That is it, my man.
That's very, very kind of him. No, it's cool. Yeah, I didn't know if there was like a particular question. I didn't want to jump in too soon. If there was like a leading question that you may have had about it, but there's plenty to say. I mean, heck, egotistically I wrote it, so I like what I wrote. Like,
oh yeah, that's good.
And that's fine because you're supposed to, you know.
Yeah, you should like what you put out. You know, in a perfect world, you're proud of what you've put out. You know, and you don't think too long on it. You just, that's what I'm just not trying to be perfectionist, but yeah, like the people who, I mean, I would be remiss if I sat here and just took a whole freaking ton of credit, for the album, just because while I did have the primary, if we're just looking at percentages here, like, I mean, percentage-wise, I'm probably hitting it 80% plus of composition on almost all of the songs. So, but if we're talking about what the other 20% would be, if we're looking at a song that's 80-20, then you're talking about the engineering of the song, the sound design, the backing track itself, as in like decisions to make when it comes to filling out the entirety of the instrumental piece. I can explain a vibe. I can talk about I'll Name Her Song is just going to be piano and voice, but creating an atmosphere for just piano and voice, it's different. The vibe you get from, I'll Name Her Song and See You Again from the Fast and Furious soundtrack, even though it's just piano and voice too, is different based upon strictly the production.
Yeah.
So I would be remiss if I was sat here and was like, oh, yep, this is all. Every decision was authored by me. I made a lot of decisions in the album. I mean, I'm very much feel comfortable saying like this is my album, but it's not how it is without the sheer amount of people who or rather the amount of people who put a crazy amount of effort and their vision and expertise into it. It's just as much, I said it on my stream when I released the album, it's just as much their album as it is mine. And
that's awesome.
I'm grateful that they were willing to be a part of it. Because it's special because of them,
I'm sure it's cool to have because that's something I know I'm looking forward to with my stuff. Whenever I get to it, is the personnel list.
Yeah,
the personnel list, the people that helped and wrote along with you and produced and engineered and just all the people that you get to put in that list. Like that,
it's special.
That's a cool thing.
It's really special. I mean, it feels like a culmination of time and effort and thoughts to have everybody. You look at the album and you're like, this is everybody I've worked with. Like practically so many people I've worked with and come to know are on this piece. And it's so good because of their you know, you trust people to do the right things and make the right decisions, and then they do. And hearing people's feedback and it's being overwhelmingly positive is extremely moving and motivating, actually, because it's like, all right, well, I can go and do more. Like I'm doing something good, so let me keep trying to pump out material that's, you know, kind of like it, but also maybe a little different. You know, if this album is experimentation, you know, I just kind of want to keep trying things, you know, learning.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Now, was this the same album that I remember you were talking a few years ago about with Cammy Cat and I about an album related to your friends? I have a vague memory of like something about like you were having your friends help you with it, and then you were gonna. I don't remember.
I think that was sort of like a pipe idea, like like a pie in the sky idea of like, I'm just gonna get all of my friends to record a song. No, that was a different thing. That was.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
That idea has not come to fruition yet.
Keyword.
Though you did do something similar with what was it? It was the one that had When I Feel Sad or When I Can Sing.
Yeah,
You know
I know what you're talking about. When I'm
like,
sad,
I know
I
that one
sing.
had something like that.
Yeah, I did have that one. Was more like getting a bunch of people I've never worked with before and putting them front and center and like trying to find new instrumentalists while also doing a passion project was the deal on that one. So I could be able to do a bunch of songs that I knew wouldn't perform well analytically anywhere, but I could also experiment with new instrumentalists for future tracks. And in fact, one of them is on my album that I was able to work with because of When I'm Sad, I Sing. So Alicia Michelle was able to be on Survival in Disguise, and she worked on 2 instrumentals for When I'm Sad, I Sing.
Awesome.
So it served its purpose. Like I learned a lot about the sound I was looking for in that album, and also found new instrumentalists that are really great. So
Yeah.
it was good. Oh my! I also just bought cards, so
Oh, nice.
I got cards. Got me thinking about it, Eric. I was like, "You're right."
on the mind.
I think there's a new set coming out. And I was like,
Of
"Let me
what?
check."
That's the question.
Pokemon,
Oh yeah.
Brilliant Stars.
Yes. I don't know.
I was like,
I
I was like, I need to get on
drop?
that.
I don't think that drops for like another week or two. I don't remember.
No, it doesn't. Fusion Strike didn't come out even that long ago.
No, it didn't.
We're moving right along, man.
The way I've seen it, it's funny. It's a small side topic. I've been trying to keep a track on like, so that way I know as a seller to keep track of when do things release. And I think they release like, I think like 3 or 4 sets a year. I know Magic releases at least three sets a year.
It's like quarterly, you know. That's what it feels like.
And I haven't bought anything in Fusion Strike yet, but I've got an entire folder in one of those totes. I don't want to go digging. It's like 3 or 4 booster boxes worth of Rebel Clash.
Nice.
And
dude, that's a cool one.
That folder, how that folder is still holding together with all those cards crammed in there is terrifying.
Woo.
That's funny, dude.
There was the
Beefy
D&D Magic set that came out that I dumped too much money into that one.
Everyone was really excited about that one.
I love it. I've had a love-hate relationship with Magic because it's getting into it is one thing, and then I had started playing it back in 2014, and then never really play. Like I got a few of my friends into it, but they started building decks way better than anything I could because I was the guy with all the cards before the store even opened, and then they started getting their own stuff, and then eventually I just kind of fell out of it. Got back into it with. I don't remember what set. I think it was Oath of the Gatewatch was a set that I got back into it and started making a mono blue mill deck because I'm a scumbag apparently. Fuck. At least that's what Ian has told me, is that I am a scumbag for playing a mill deck.
Yeah, John would know about all the strats. John's the Magic guy.
I got it. I'm still trying, man. I'm still trying to get John. It's not working out, but I'm still trying.
He's so busy, yo.
I get that. You know, I'm not expecting him to just suddenly drop it and, you know, just be here, but it'd be great to have him. But back to the video, because this is now where we're going to get to the interesting topic that Jay and I were discussing. was, although I know it was a skit, it was what led me to definitely ask you again to be back here. Was kind of the way, at least it phrased in my mind, was like the importance of separating work and life, and like trying not to put the value into numbers and putting it into your content, like what you're putting out. Because if you notice, like a lot of people on YouTube, like a lot of the big YouTubers, they care only about the numbers instead of the content they put out.
Sure.
And it's smaller channels like mine took a huge hit when the adpocalypse hit back in, what was it, 2016, 2017, when Logan Paul made that
Gosh.
video in
I
Japan.
forgot about that.
I think so. Yeah. Would have been
And,
around there.
About
like,
that.
there was the thing, like, PewDiePie said, and I think I'm quoting Game Grumps when I say this, but PewDiePie said that, he said a racial slur, and that kind of started a chain effect.
Right. I do remember that too.
Logan Paul did the video in Japan. All smaller channels took a massive hit because that was a huge thing. That like advertisers like started going everywhere. And then YouTube brought out its new what was it? Their new guidelines for how to stay monetized.
Yeah.
And a lot of smaller channels couldn't keep up with that. Like I was trying, I couldn't keep up to it. I've been stuck at like 135 subscribers for like 6 years.
Yeah.
But
No, it was a difficult period of just kind of navigating for a lot of people. Trying to navigate.
But
No, I mean, yeah.
it definitely got me thinking of like, some people start YouTube just to start it for fun. Others start it with the goal of being YouTube famous, and it doesn't work out. So they just give up. And I don't know. To me, it just... Is my computer, like, struggling here? I don't know. My computer's, like, partially... There we go. It was, like, frozen on my end for a second there. God, I hope it doesn't...
And remember, I'm recording too, so we got a contingency
This
plan.
is true, yes. Thank God. Yeah, as I told Jay, as I was getting everything set up before the call, I ended up getting a blue screen.
Yeah, man, it's rough.
Terrifying. Also, there's a lot of new people in the chat. Winking Baby, what do we got? Uncle Look, Winking Baby, and San Lobato and Aquamarine. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hey, it's Aqua. Good to see you, Aqua. Nice.
Chat pause due to scroll. Don't pause the chat. Chat needs to keep going. But yeah, it brought up like the thing in my mind of like, it's interesting to see like, because smaller channels, like, I don't know what I'm trying to figure out how to put like the words to it, and it's a little difficult in my mind because I'm trying to formulate the words.
Oh, sure.
Some
sure.
receptors aren't firing off. But like Jay was saying, like everyone has a different perspective on like how YouTube works, like on their experiences with YouTube and everything. And like all three of us have different experiences with YouTube. Like Jay, what were you saying about your experience? You were saying like,
Well, it's a very interesting thing. I think we come, because you and I, Caleb, we're obviously both in very different places when it comes to YouTube and how we go at it. Because obviously it's a career for you. And I am like part of that camp where, I don't want to, how do I describe it? It's like, it's almost like I'm part of an underground, right? And so I'm coming into this YouTube thing having to know, now listen, BlueJay, you're never going to be making money off this thing. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. We are too early or too late into the game to where that's just something that's going to happen, right? Like, especially now. Because I think the train in terms of, like, ad revenue and how advertisers want you to run things has already sailed. And it's already a pain in the ass as it is to please them. And honestly, I don't give a shit about the advertisers. I don't want to please nobody. I want to do my thing. I don't want to do it my way. And if that means doing it on YouTube, if that means doing it anywhere else, I don't care, because I have the ability to not have to worry about money, right? But it's different for those who do, because those are the things that you have to consider if you want to stay afloat. Like, okay, you got it. You're on the YouTube game. Now you got to play it. Now you got to play it. And so that is the difference. And it's a very interesting split thing, because one of my moderators that actually made a very interesting tweet, and they were just like, I'm just going to upload now. I don't even care. I'm not even going to try. Not even going to try to please the algorithm, because the algorithm will never be pleased based on my size. So I'm just going to do my thing. And if it happens, it happens. And if it don't, it don't. And that's exactly where I'm at, is if it happens, it happens. And if it don't, it don't. But listen, I got other places. I got other ways where if I wanted to make some money, then I could do it. Like, I got other avenues I can take. Like, for example, like with Twitch. Like, with Twitch, I actually get a payout, right? I managed to get into the Twitch game at a good time to where I can do that. And honestly, you still could. Twitch is still a playable game. Anybody can get into it. Anyone can get to affiliate within a good amount of time. It is very possible. Still hard, right? But it's still possible. Whereas with YouTube, you are fighting a lot of things. And Twitch has some of those things, but it's somehow not at the level of difficulty. That's how I'll describe it. It is not at a level of difficulty that, say, YouTube is. And that's an interesting thing. So, ultimately, that's my side of the story. And I get to come at it from a very different perspective, which is very, very interesting, and it's very, very cool, because Caleb, you, obviously, on the other hand, your experience is a career. YouTube is a career, and you have to work with the algorithm, and you have to play that game. And so basically, I think ultimately what the question could be is, what is your commentary on that notion compared to the experience that, say, I or Thunderstar would be having? And I don't know, yeah, describe your experience and what your takeaway on all that would be, I suppose.
I think it's I mean, I guess the starting point is I got lucky. Like, it's as simple as that, you know. And I got very lucky to get a recognition when I got it. And even when I got, like, people think my first viral video was Let It Go because it's the one that got the most attention, but it wasn't.
Oh, really?
My first viral video was a Linkin Park cover I did.
Oh, which song?
And I think you probably saw it back in,
I'm
or at least
sure
in, like,
I did.
2012, and it was like an In My Remains a cappella cover. And it went... Now, when I went viral, when I say viral, I don't mean like millions. I mean it went like 100,000. You know,
but that was like big for you. That was like considerably big.
Yeah,
for you.
2012. You know, big time. So, but I just didn't really pursue it at the time. Like, I wasn't interested in trying to do YouTube a lot. It was just a thing I did every now and then for fun. But that was an opening, you know, that I had, and I had less than 1,000 subscribers at that point. The album had just come out. I'd seen a bunch of people doing a cappella covers. I figured, why don't I try? And I did, and I knew people would be looking up Linkin Park In My Remains covers in general. So why don't I make a cover that will catch people where they're looking? And maybe I have enough. If it's good enough, 2 people see it, they'll like it, they'll comment, the algorithm will put it up at the top, and then it will be, and that'll be enough. And then, and sure enough, it snowballed. And that's what's happened with several of my covers, because in a lot of ways, you know, I feel like nowadays, in terms of the landscape of large creators and small creators, it's becoming like a lot of older creators feel like they're being pushed out because newer creators are coming along and sort of doing their shtick, older YouTubers shtick, but doing it like a little bit better, quote unquote, or just more fresh, just kind of more with the times. So you have smaller channels that are growing at a more rapid rate than older channels because they're willing to be. This is like the first set of generations. Gen Z are like the first set of people who have grown up with YouTubers, and people as like a concept and a job. So they're like pursuing it head on. Like, they've been watching it since they were babies, and they know they want to be a part of it, and they want to do it, and they're driven to do it. as to where
Well,
for
it's like-
millennials, it's like you millennials and then
Yeah.
even Gen Xers, they kind of stumbled into it, you know, as a
We
as
had
a
to kind
thing.
of pave our generation, like had to
yeah, we
pave
sort of paved
the
it,
way
yeah,
of sorts.
trailblazing.
Because
So
like I
it-
got kids in my preschool that are like the school agers that are just like,
Yep.
you know how it's like, who do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a YouTuber. I want to
Yep.
be an influencer. I want to do
I wanna
like
be
they'll
an
use those
influencer,
words. I'm
yeah.
like, dude, you're 7. Influencer?
yeah.
But it's just like
Mm.
it's very real to them. It is very real to
But-
them. Just to kind of add to what you had said.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think for yeah, you like you said, Jason. I think you're one of the only people on planet Earth that I know that is entitled to talk like that, because I know you and I know you well enough to know that you mean it. Like, you're gonna upload what you want to upload. You're gonna do what you want to do. Algorithm be darned, because I like it and I'm gonna do it.
Hell
And
yeah.
you mean it, and I know you mean it because I know you. So like, I know you, and I know you'll keep uploading no matter what.
That's dope.
You know,
man.
it was never about the money or the pursuit. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But you did it for the, to use a euphemism, you did it for the love of the game, and that's why you did it, and that's why you've done it, and honestly, that is like truthfully my advice to anybody who's doing YouTube, and I've said it. This has been my advice for like 4 years, but it's still true. Is you're gonna have a lot of younger creators, or people jumping into, not even younger, I don't want to say, that makes it seem like it's an age thing, but it's not. So people who are trying to do YouTube, you're going to have them jumping in with conflicting desires, because you're going to want it to be a career and a job and something that makes money, but you're also trying to be true and like, I like doing this, so I'm going to do it because I like it. But I think more often than not, you'll find that people do this because it's a potential career and not something they really love to do. Like, they'll watch somebody and they say, "Oh, I think I could do that. I could do that." And if that's your motivation, then I feel like you're going to struggle to find it whenever no one's watching, because you're not doing it because you love it. You know, you're doing it because you were trying to mimic somebody. You know, is a possibility that you could either do it just as well or maybe do it even better, and then the sheer ability was going to get you there. You know, but this isn't a trade job. This is art. You know, this isn't. You don't know what's going to happen, and it's an algorithm that is not necessarily, you know, with a fine-tooth comb recognizing art for art's sake. Too many people in my, this is maybe somewhat spilling off of the, going back to, you know, to my video, the little thing I did. It's like you can't. It's like the algorithm cares so much about what is going to get people's eyes on it. I mean, that video, and I knew it would be, I think its time video is like my most viewed video, like out of my entire history of my channel, in terms of its analytics within its first week, were the best ever for any video I'd ever released.
Wow.
But because it seemed dramatic, it seemed consequential, it seemed like, you know, a big deal. So the most comments ever in a time span, the most minutes watched, the most views, everything, impressions, all through the roof. I mean, it trended.
Wow.
So like, but you know, it's like, but people get mad at that sometimes because it's like you're playing the game. And in a lot of ways, it's like there's still this weird veil of like artistic integrity that sits on top of platforms like YouTube and even TikTok, that there's supposed to be this respect, this unspoken artistic integrity that you always maintain if you're in the upper areas. And it's like, nah, man, it's a game. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing's a game. That's part of the reason that people
even
are
when
like,
you're being integral, like even when you have the integrity,
even
like,
whenever I'm like deadly serious. Like, I wasn't joking in my video. I'm not joking in my album. You know, I'm aware. I'm a calculated decision. There's a reason Bohemian Rhapsody came out yesterday, 2 weeks after my album, because I calculated thinking my album is going to hurt my channel as a net negative for the channel analytics, because I'm here for covers, not originals. So what's the return video? Well, arguably one of the biggest songs in history. I'll do one of those. I'll bring on Jonathan Young. I'll bring on Charlie Green. I'll bring on Anna Pantsu. Like, I'll bring on the frickin' all-stars to get my channel back to algorithmic relevancy after, you know, pretty much a month of just original Caleb Hyles material. So even within and I don't feel, and I don't regret my decision. I'm not mad at YouTube for it. I'm not mad at YouTube for it because they're trying to make money. They're trying to do what they're doing, and I'm just playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones writing the rules. I'll play to the rules. Now, sometimes they make up some dumb rules, but like it doesn't change the fact that it's a game, and I separate who I am from the game. You know, that's just another. The business is business side, and I keep who I am within the art itself. You know, and I don't let the business and its performance affect how much I view the art. You know, what people say about what I do.
Yeah.
That's going to mean more than numbers ever will, because it never reflects quality. I knew that back when I started.
Good shit.
Numbers never reflected quality. I'm on Google Video in 2006 uploading videos of me lip syncing in the living room. Like no one watched that. I don't care. Like I did it because I liked it. I had friends on Xbox Live, and I told them go to my Google Video, go to my Zynga.com and watch my freaking video. Like you got to do it for the love. You got to know it's a game and then do it for the love of your passion. That's why. That's it. Because there's no guarantees that you're gonna go anywhere with it. Mm-hmm. It's a hobby. It's if it's a hobby and it stays a hobby, so be it. I'm a hobbyist in a lot of things, and I wish sometimes, even now, I wish my hobbies could become the things I do for a living. Even when one of my hobbies is the thing that turned into it. You know, like
goes to show it never really stops. Like that notion never really stops.
No, it never
and I
goes
think
away.
people think that stuff goes away the minute they make it. Like, okay, I'm in that place where I get to stream for a living. Yes, satisfied. Like, no, we're human, man. We're human.
You'll find something else.
Something I do want to build off of what you were saying earlier about, like, you ain't mad that you have to strategize in terms of, like, okay, I dropped my original album, and okay, 2 weeks from now, I got to do something because I broke the chain, so I got to rebind the chain to keep things rolling again. Like, I like what you said there because I think it's easy for people to just get mad at YouTube for the sake of getting mad at YouTube. Like, it's kind of crazy that we can even get to a point where we can make money off this thing. Now, again, that ain't my thing because I'm never gonna make money off of it. I'm not even gonna accept it, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna accept it.
What was it?
I'm turning off AdSense.
I said to you, Jay, that like feeling like taking YouTube's money at this point, for at least for both you and myself, it feels like blood money almost.
It feels like blood money. Like, I don't want your money, Google. Get out of here. I'm gonna upload my shitty thing, and I'm gonna be happy about it. But anyways, like, to kind of continue, like, it's amazing that people can even have a career doing this, and it's just like, if these are the rules that they've made in terms of how the algorithm and how it plays, and it's always going to evolve. There are some things that we need to criticize and need to debate about. Still important. We're not just accepting blindly here. We still got to do that. But at the same thing, in terms of what you were talking about, Caleb, like, I think that's fair enough. And it is a very nuanced thing, I think, as anything is. I think it's easy for people to just kind of get all fired up and just want to get angry for the sake of getting angry. Like, well, Caleb, why you can't just upload an original thing and then it just makes you money? You can't just do that. Well, no, not necessarily, especially when YouTube has an algorithm that's like turned to you being a cover artist. Like, if you're going to do a turn like that, you better be prepared to make some moves to keep the algorithm happy. And that's just how it is, and it might suck. People may have a problem with that. But I like your approach to it. You take it with stride, and you're just like, you know what? Fuck yeah, we're going to do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Which is good shit, so...
Like, yeah, that was the game plan.
Like, you did what you wanted. It's not like you have no control. Like, you have control over what you're doing on your channel. You're doing what you want to do still. Like, that's honestly out there. I'm sure there's people out there who wish they could probably do that, even still. And I guess it just depends on your mindset. I'm sure there are people that do feel debilitated by how the algorithm works, I'm sure that's real.
I know people like that.
Yeah.
It's really sad too.
It's a bummer. But no, it's a very interesting thought. It's a very nuanced issue, I think, because it's a beautiful thing to be able to do what you're doing, right? And we had a great conversation about you just like, I think ultimately it's gratitude. It's the gratitude that you have.
Always
that affects
gratitude.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, man. It's just, you got to practice gratitude. You kind of do. Like, I don't think it's a thing that you are innately born with. I think it's nurtured into you, and then you have to continue to nurture it. Especially, when you're battered with adversity or you're battered with the well, adversity is a catch-all phrase, so I'll just keep adversity. So yeah, gratitude covers a lot of frustration that you might have.
Sure.
And I'm very fortunate to have a lot to be grateful for. So that's
Heck yeah, man.
I'm also in my bubble too. You know, like I the people I work with, the people I commiserate with in my career sides feels like, I have great sympathy for a lot of what people go through, but I do know our situations, and I do think gratitude is something that even the sphere I'm in struggles with.
Sure.
Because I know there's a lot of problems, but at some point, don't take upon a needless yoke upon your back just because you're trying to feel you're wanting to feel afflicted to make a change. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you're better off for making better change if you yourself are grateful and can just pass that on to others and affect change in a good state of mind. I don't know.
I like
There's
that.
more there, but I don't want to bloviate any further. I'm sure there are other things that we were going to get to.
Sure.
I mean,
and just real quick, if I may,
this was the main topic of like
it was
the importance of like separating work and in life and like everyone's perspective like on how YouTube works. Is like Jay had said, like everyone has their own different perspective on how they've interacted with YouTube over the years. And like what you had said, Caleb, about like how some people think like, oh, I can do that too, I can do it better, and everything. That kind of resonates a little bit with my like how I started YouTube, because I had started YouTube. My channel has been around since 2009.
Nice.
And I didn't really do a lot with the channel. I did some stuff. I didn't really start doing Let's Plays and stuff like that until 2012, when Ian and I had started on Final Fantasy 1, or at least, well, the Dawn of Souls version anyway. And I don't know, like when I started it off, I was taking inspiration from another YouTuber that I don't know where he went, but he just kind of left YouTube, and I wanted to do it because I love playing video games. I mean, who doesn't?
Sure.
I mean, all three of our channels kind of resonate around video. Well, at least the Twitch channel for you guys, and then my YouTube channel, we resonate around video games. And I wanted to do it too because kind of showing like, well, this will be fun. It'll be a good time. It'll be something that I can do, video walkthroughs. Why not? My parents always told me that, because I pay attention to detail and I go through and I get through games so much that it would be a good idea to do to write walkthroughs for games. Well, when I found what a Let's Play was, I was like, well, this is just a video walkthrough. This is easier. I don't have to write it. I don't have to script anything. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. And I had originally stared with a little flip share camera.
Oh, yeah.
A little flip share. Dude,
Yep.
That thing suffered a lot. Just because it didn't like to stay on the tripod I got for it, so it kept falling over.
I know what you mean. I had a tripod
like
that
top
broke
heavy.
because it kept falling. Sucks.
And
They were not well made.
no. Good camera. The tripod's for it. No. And it was... I had started doing Ocarina of Time, funny enough. The one on the Master Collection for GameCube. And I started doing that, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I was like, this is great. I have a limited amount of time to do it because that was before, when YouTube had its, 10, 15-minute rule.
Oh, yeah.
And then now you're just like, we're just going to remove that. Just do whatever you want. We don't care. And
they can upload 10-hour videos.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, I enjoyed doing it, and then I didn't like how the series was turning out, so I just scrapped it. I got rid of everything on it, just scrapped it. And then was trying to do Metroid Prime, didn't like how the quality of the videos was turning out, because I didn't like how they looked. That was before I ended up getting my first capture card. And we just scrapped it. And then started getting the capture card, and then I started, getting to the computer software. And that's when Ian and I did Final Fantasy 1, and that was the start of our friendship, too. We
That's
had met
cool.
through another mutual friend of ours, and we just kind of hit it off. And I went down. What was it? It was just last October. I went down there for his wedding. I was down in Dallas for his wedding.
That's dope.
And it was
Heck yeah.
a great time. Unfortunately, I was sick the whole damn time I was down there.
That's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, I remember. I think we were supposed to meet up, and you weren't feeling well. I think I remember that.
That was back in 2020.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah,
that was
never mind.
2020 'cause
That wasn't going to
when I was down
happen.
there for a couple of weeks. My girlfriend and I were only down there for a week.
Yeah, that's right. Never mind then. I forget it. Forget I said anything.
Now you're fine. No, we had the VOD. It's okay. No one will forget it now. And then we started doing that, and then I looked back at the quality, and this was 10 years ago that we had done this. And looking at the quality of like my older videos, they weren't good. they were not good quality, but I still loved them anyway. But they didn't, from like a different perspective, it was I loved how how the series turned out, but I felt like it could have been better. So I'm taking the time now to kind of go back through and remaster some of the series to kind of go more in depth and get everything, and not hit the space bar like Ian once told me that he's just going to, because on emulators you can use the space bar to speed the game up.
Uh-huh.
Earlier games that I was doing with emulators, I used it too much. Ian at one point said he was just going to put a two-sided piece of tape on there and put thumbtacks on there in case I ever tried it. Well, it worked. So,
Oh, man.
and then it just kind of, I went from there. We did Final Fantasy IV, we did Amnesia: The Dark Descent, we've done so many things over the course of 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still, but another thing to note is when you leave YouTube for a time, because life gets in the way, or, you just need to take a break, sometimes it gets harder and harder to come back.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been kind of the case for me over years, is that I've left. And then I've started to come back slowly, and just recently, just about a month ago, I think, as I was telling Jay, I just started doing the 3D version of Final Fantasy IV. And then, when the adpocalypse hit, I've been stuck at this rate, this anywhere between 130 to 135 subscribers for years now. But also, when I started it, I wanted to be like that YouTuber that I got the inspiration from. Well, over the years, I stopped wanting to be like him. I was just I'm just going to do my own thing. I wanted to show people the games. I went from, let's do really popular games that people love, to I want to show people the games that I grew up with, the games that I played as I was growing up.
Sure.
And I know a lot of my content's Final Fantasy because I grew up with Final Fantasy a lot.
That was the thing.
It was, and it was great. And then back in 2017, and like you would say, Caleb, like you guys had said, just something that started as a hobby that you want to turn into, your everyday. That you want to make this a career out of this. Well, in October of 2017, my brother and I opened up the store. We opened up the trading card store.
Yes, the card store.
And it went by a different name at the time because we didn't know what to call it, so we just decided to call it Brothers Cards, excluding my last name for reasons. And within the first 6 months, we were already at the highest level that we could reach on TCG Player, which it's not hard to get there, but we were doing so well with sales at that point. We were doing good. Well, I was putting more of my paychecks into it than he was. He would get a pack every month, essentially.
Wow.
But I knew financially he couldn't run it like I could. So I told him, we had an agreement of our payout for sales. I'll pay you out your half. I'll take, your half of the store. I'll run out 100%. I don't care. And we agreed on it. Paid him out. And then I renamed it as Starfall Cards. And that's when it really kind of took off, because I've been it's been almost 4 years. No, it's been a little over 4 years since the store has been opened, and I want to make that my career, because I grew up also, video games, trading cards, stuff like that. I wish I still had a lot of my old cards.
Oh man, I feel that on some things too. I get that.
But it's taking that hobby of loving TCG and everything and making a career out of it. But I also feel like, at least in my eyes of, running the store, I can't look at cards without seeing a monetary value anymore. Like, I'll get a pack and be like, okay, I want to, let's see if I can, like, make a deck out of some of the stuff here. But I'll look at it and go, well, how much can I sell this for?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's caused a bit of an issue. And, like, just the other day, I'd gotten some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it's funny because they're literally just sitting right here. And I could look at one of these cards and go, well, okay, how much can I sell it for? I look at everything, at least TCG related now, with a monetary value, and that kind of sucks because I still love playing the games, but
it is. That's how it is. It's interesting how it eventually, when it does start making money, like, you're just going to start seeing dollar signs. So the challenge is, how do you balance it?
Well, then it's actually funny you mentioned that too, is I've started balancing it out because, unfortunately, I dismantled a lot of the decks I had built because I didn't have the time to play anymore. I was too busy with, things going on with life and running the store. I dismantled a lot of my older decks because they were also just kind of, I couldn't really do anything with them. If I was going to go to a tournament, I'd probably get thrown out in the first match. But it's finding that balance is like, my girlfriend and I had gotten a booster box of one of the Yu-Gi-Oh sets, and we had pulled a card that I literally looked at and said, I want to keep this. I don't care. This is a hard card to get. I want to keep it. She said, well, how much does it sell for? I said, $60. She said, why not try to sell it first? I said, and the way I kind of run this interesting balance of, like, cards I want to keep is I'll put it up for a week. If it doesn't buy within a week, well, then I might just keep it.
It's yours.
But I've also pulled so many, like, good cards. Like, there was back in February of 2018, I think, I had gotten a Yu-Gi-Oh booster box at the current job I have now, and opened it there, had Ian on the phone, and the first pack pulled the number one most expensive card in the whole set, and it was just like, everything else in this is just more money. And of course, anytime, like, because we're all, a bunch of nerds and we all play card games, like, my friend group, I'll message them and say, hey, I pulled this stuff. Go ahead and, like, if there's anything you want, I'll send it to you. But if they also want to, like, hey, I've got these cards I want to sell, send it to me, I'll sell it, and the store has to keep, like, a percentage. So I take 25%, and the rest of it goes straight to them. The TCG player as a website has to take their fee, which is, like, 10%. So but I make sure that they get the most amount of money out of it. It's like, okay, I'll take just a small piece, that way the store has made something off of it, and then the rest is yours. Here you go. And that was a thing that we implemented back before it was Starfall Cards. And I've kept it because I don't see a need to really change it. I mean, maybe later, but who knows?
Seems to work now.
Well, YouTube, when you're making smaller, particularly when you're talking about, your time on YouTube, 2009 and the like, it was the Wild West back in the 2006 to 2010 era, because my original channel was right when it started, and it was just wild. They didn't have a lot, 5-star system, the whole thing. But I think you have to. It's difficult in ways because there is so much content on YouTube, and you can't ignore the fact that algorithmically it's kind of a crane game.
Right.
Like, they're just going to pick someone out in a lot of cases. Because I think I've described it before, like, if, like, let's say, if everyone's in a football stadium, like a massive, like, 100,000 football stadium, like, every YouTuber just is in a big old football stadium, think about then how many of those people will play video games for their channel. How many people have gaming channels?
Right.
Let's say it's probably like 60,000. Okay, now it's 60,000. You have 60,000 gamers in this YouTube sphere. Like 60,000 people doing video games and uploading them. Okay, next big piece. How many are consistent? uploading consistently every time. Okay, now we're down to maybe 20,000.
Right.
Maybe, and that's maybe actually being generous. Let's just say it's like 5,000 people are consistent out of the 60,000. 5,000 people are consistently uploading to their YouTube channel. And when I say consistently, I don't mean every day. I don't mean every 3 days. I don't mean every week. I just mean they have a schedule that they keep, that they upload to, and they keep to it.
Right.
Okay, 5,000 people now that consistently upload. Now we get to, because you're satisfying the algorithm in some ways. You have your big audiences, which is video games, consistent uploading. Now the next part. Are you different? What is unique, special about your content? And let's just say I'm throwing this to the sky out of the 5,000, and this is so arbitrary, so whatever you want to take it as. Let's just say 150 of the 5,000 are really good, like unique. Your Markipliers, your Jacksepticeye's, your PewDiePie's,
Right.
your whomevers of the world. Like they're in this 150 category where they're unique. Something about them, about their content, from top to bottom is special, unique. So even now we're in the 150. You have 150 people. And you're in like the echelon of echelon. You're the tippy top. Like this is the best of the best. It's still 150 people. Like it's still 150 people that you're having to fight for eyes over. And still, all the while, maintain the consistency of your schedule and maintain the quality of your work. And be willing to be adaptable to change your work. And as that goes on, the positions of the people in that 150 example I'm giving are going to kind of ebb and flow. Like you're going to have some people leave the 150 and some more people come into the 150. And it's all just people changing positions, like fighting for position in like a freaking race.
Right.
So it's one of those things where when you're looking at the like if you get consistency down pat, then you have to look at what's separating me, what's making me special, what makes me different. And even then, you can do all that. And I gave that advice before. He's like, you can make your content special and unique, but you're still in a crane game. Like you're still in a crane game, and the inherent nature of a crane game is kind of randomness. It is luck. You can position yourself perfectly. You can line it up exactly where you want it to get what you're looking for, but there's still a low chance. Like there's still not a perfect chance. And everybody you get who watches, that's why it's crazy, man. I've seen some up and comers that did really well, like for their size and for their grind and for what they were doing quality, and they just started doing better than I thought they would. And I was like, yo, keep going. But they would get so discouraged about the numbers. And I'm like, dude, your eyes are bigger than your stomach right now. Like, man, you're killing it. Like you're doing phenomenally. Just like keep at it. Like you're on the path. You're on the path. Keep going. And
Right.
And they just got so beaten up by like the progress not coming as at the speed they wanted, not coming at the timeline that they thought. And that's when I was like, man, you're not in it because you love it. Then you're in it because you thought it could be a career. You thought it could be. You wanted it to be this like not get rich quick thing, but like you wanted it to be this. You wanted it to be a thing that you thought you were super good at, super capable of doing, probably were capable, but just didn't have that drive for it because you didn't love it. That was the point. You got to do it because you love it. That's all. Because then you won't be dissatisfied, right? Like that's it. You're just trying to not be dissatisfied with your work, even if nothing comes of it. At least you're not dissatisfied. And that's all that matters to me. Like not many people have heard my metal album with From the Dark. Like not many have. I get asked about it every couple months, and that's not a problem at all. But it's like I love it. I listen to it because I liked it, and that's still true. So you just have the stuff you love. Be proud of the work you do, and that'll cover a lot of the not having recognition, things like that.
That's good.
And it's true because that's like I had said. My perspective on like when I started the channel and then how it is now is it changed sometime between that because I just went, I started this to try to be big.
Oh, sure.
But at some point I was just like, look, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. Like, I want to show people, like, essentially is going to sound odd, is like the golden age games, like, you know, like the old games like Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2, you know, 4, 3, whichever. And, you know, because the way I also saw it was you could do like your Resident Evil 8, your, you know, it's not trying to make you angry with this, but like your Death Stranding and, you know, like your things like that. You could do all these because they're popular games, but everybody's doing it.
Oh yeah, or there's something to be said for like Scott the Wazing or Metal Jesus. Find like channels that are niche. Like the more you niche down, usually you can find a consistent audience once that's why I happened to like Steven Universe. That was very fortunate, but I didn't lean in and do all of the Steven Universe songs because wow, I just love Steven Universe that much that I have to do all the songs. Like no, I really did like Steven Universe. It was a great show, but my pursuing of doing all of it was because there was this niche market that I catered to that watched every single one. I could count on them. I could count on them to watch that stuff. But my quality never shifted. Well, I'd like to think it didn't. Like, I had my format, I had my formula, I had the quality that I brought every single time with producers that I liked, instrumentalists that I like. I sang well, at least I think I did. So it's like when they came to my channel, they knew exactly what they were going to get. There was no question about the quality of an experience they were going to have. And that's getting into like, there's both a macro and a micro conversation about quality of your YouTube, of your content.
Right.
Because you can market to a niche audience all you want, but if you're not doing something different than the best people out there, trying to, not to use too competitive of a term, but trying to take views away, trying to steal shares, trying to take the finite pool of viewers and grab some share from it is increasingly harder the higher quality, the video is. Like, let's put it this way. Like, if you're a house tour person, like you love doing house tours and that's your thing, like, and you go and buy a massive freaking house. Like, you just go and buy this, like, super banger-looking mansion. Like, it's insane. It's like a waterfall and a rainforest in it. Like, I don't know how that happened, but it's got all of it. But what if, like, your video sucks? Like, what if the video's bad? Right. Like, what if your banger mansion that with the rainforest and the waterfall is shot poorly? What if it's narrated poorly? What if the camera quality you're using is like the fun little flip share thing that we were talking about that we had? Like, what if you're using that? Like, you ruined, like, it's lost. You have all this great material and great ideas, but the micro part of it's like the presentation, the way you present it. You got to think about all that stuff. And in that way, it is good to be inspired by other creators that you're looking up at and like are seeing that they have a what did they do to get success. Then that way it's a good thing because then you're modeling a presentation. And in the modeling of the presentation, you can find ways to insert your personality, who you are. That's what I try to tell to people. Like, you can try to trailblaze, but there's a reason some people are as well as they have, and it's not a bad idea to take some inspiration. It's whenever you start to mimic that it can get dicey. Just right. But yeah, I hadn't thought of the idea of like buying a big mansion before, but I like that. Like, you basically just saying you can have the greatest ideas in the world and the greatest of intentions, but if you don't execute it the way the game needs you to execute it, then you're just lessening your chances every time. Right. When you upload.
And
it's tricky.
Like, an interesting thing about that is also the people that go and make like second channels, because like I had said at the beginning of this, like I'm going to be making the YouTube channel for the store, so that way anything that's seen on that channel, it's going to be up for sale. Like, it's going to be like, you can go there, you can buy this, if you want it, you can get it. And then, but that's not the only channel, like the secondary channel I've technically had. I've had a couple other ones in the past. Like, I had Ian and our friend Brad. We started one called the Sunfire Heroes. It was we kind of modeled it similar to the Runaway Guys. Mm-hmm. And then there was, Ian and I talked about doing another channel called Zealot's Mark, which was going 100% like doing a game on like whatever difficulty we wanted to, going pure 100% and everything. We had a whole like first season planned out of like every game that we wanted to do. We just our lives kept getting in the way. We never got around to actually doing it. Maybe someday in the future, sure, but I mean, who's to say? Like you said, it's essentially a crane game. Everything's hit or miss. It's a simple thing of like roll the dice, see how it's gonna go.
Oh yeah. Well, and then you roll the dice, but depending on depending on the other factors, consistency, quality.
Right.
Are you playing with weighted dice? That's the how many perks have you given, handicaps have you given yourself?
Right.
So it's good to reevaluate ourselves, in different turns, like while you're going through any career, just what do you need to change? Is there a change you need to make at all? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But maybe there's something coming on the horizon you need to be aware of? Is your content stale? Is it needing to change? So there's, I've talked in circles. I tend to talk to the point of losing my point that I was making. So
no, I mean
I will.
I think you stayed on the point this entire time, honestly.
Oh yeah, I just don't want to.
No, you're
spinning
fine.
A wheel.
Yeah, it's just there's so many different ways that you can take like the path with YouTube, and sometimes you'll be like your Markipliers, your Jacksepticeye's, your PewDiePies, and then there's sometimes where you're kind of lost in the crowd. But the moral of it is just because you're lost in the crowd, don't lose hope. Keep trying.
Oh, sure.
Eventually, you could make it up there.
You could, absolutely.
I mean, I remember like looking at it right now. You're sitting at 1.59 million subscribers, and I remember being there for when you hit 1 million, Caleb.
Yeah,
that was
bananas.
That was an emotional day.
It was a really cool moment, and heck, even the 300,000 was really cool. It's just
sure.
Yeah, it can happen at any time. I've said this before. I mean, if YouTube goes away, if this becomes back to being a hobby, then I'll still do it because I do enjoy this. I've been doing this I've been shooting home videos since I was 10 years old. Like I love making videos. I love singing. I love singing songs. I love doing covers. Like I'll always do it. And maybe that was my shtick. Maybe that was the magic pill for me as a career. Is I hear it more often than not is, well, you just look like you're having the time of your life. And it's like, yeah, because I am, because I love it.
Right.
So everyone has like, find your magic pill, or whatever. That's a really, I don't know what magic pill is what I settled on, but like, you get it. Find the unique thing. What do you sell that no one else is selling? How can you sell it in a way that no one else has? Because I see a lot of careers, man. That's another thing, man. I feel like I watch. Nah, never mind. I'm hating. I'm a big old hater. What other questions?
I'm curious what that thought is, but we can do it after the podcast.
I don't know.
Whenever we have time.
I see people making careers off of looking like they enjoy what they do.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole thing. That is a whole other thing, I'm sure.
Looking real happy about. It's like, look, Jason, you've known me a long time. I don't want to speak to. Literally no one knows who I'm talking about or people I'm talking about, so I'm pretty safe. But Jason, you've known me a long time. You know how I am.
Yeah.
You know how I can be. I'm usually pretty goofy. I can be over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I can be silly. But I feel like you kind of know when someone is that way or isn't.
Yes.
And because I'm that way, I feel like when I see someone being that way on camera and playing it up, a lot of me is like, I think you're feigning like you're really excited, but I don't think you are. Like you're trying to be like, wowie, bowie, look at me, I'm making a goofy face, and it's like, I don't think you like it. Like I think you're doing that because you think people like it. And I read comments about it, and apparently it does work because people think those individuals are like, wow, they're so goofy and zany and over the top. And I'm like, I don't know. It just reads like you're trying really hard.
Yeah.
And like, look, here's how you know. You know how I know? If you're not being called cringe at least 20 times in the comments, you're doing it wrong. You've manufactured it. If you've made your goofy, zany, woo weirdness like complimentary, then sorry, you're faking it. Like, unless you get called cringe at least 20 times in your comment section for being yourself, then sorry.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how many times do you get called cringe?
Oh, bro. Every day. Every waking moment. If I
so
could
great.
Look through. I've been called cringe since I was 11 on the forums, man.
Oh
11
man,
years old, forever cringe. Just it'll
forever
never
cringe.
change.
To
Oh,
you.
we are cringe. It's like a cringe culture. I don't know.
Hashtag
I've never
forever
not
cringe.
been cringy. I can pretend
I
I'm
like
cool.
that. Forever cringe. I like that.
Hashtag.
I'm not gonna take it as like a haha, I'm converting cringe into a good term. No, it's people say it meanly, but like I'm not affected by it because it's like, well, okay, that's another person who thinks I'm cringe. Like, join,
Fine.
get in line. I don't know. Like, what do you
Yeah,
want,
get in
what do you
line.
want me to do about it?
Join the
Well, tell
club.
me what's the secret to not being cringe?
What is
There
what's
is
the
none.
cringy secret?
There is none. You,
Also,
you
is that-
don't
is that
show
the
yourself.
camera
You
on?
don't show yourself. That's what it is. You never put yourself out there.
Yeah, let me just yeah, be quiet.
Just stay out. Stay out.
There's
of
literally nothing I can do. I think I've
No,
thought
there's
before,
nothing you can
like,
do.
how do I not be cringe? And I'm just like,
How do I stop cringe?
like I guess I could, like, wear different clothes. But
Someone
like,
else is
every
gonna think
answer
it's
I
cringe.
come up
Someone
with
else
is
is gonna think it's cringe.
yeah. One
You can't get away from it, Caleb.
every answer I come up with fails. Like
Everyone
I can't
is
think
cringe.
of-
Everyone is cringe to some extent.
Yeah, that's what I'd be like. Let me do. Someone calls me cringe. I'm like, you're just really cringy, man. It's like, what do you like? What do you like? And they'll be like, I don't know, pizza. I'll be like, what a freaking nerd. You're a loser that you like pizza. Get out of here. You're an absolute loser. You're the worst. You're terrible.
Or, like you said, or we'll go back to the beginning of this. You
What
like
a
Cane's
nerd.
cringe?
You like Canes? That's cringe. You're really cringy. What do you? You have a credit card? You're cringy. That's
Cringe.
insane. You
Bad
freaking
credit, cringe.
Cringe? Oh,
Get in
man.
line.
Bad credit cringe. Love that.
I don't know. Like, hey, mate, hey, look. If you, I don't know if cringe for others is apparently charisma to another.
Sure. Yep.
So
yep.
and magnetic.
It's very
so,
true.
That part, if I'm choosing that I'm charismatic and magnetic over cringe, then that's what's enabled me to have what I have here, you know. But I also don't try to, you know. What's another thing? When you're a larger channel, you can it all feels like you're on a high wire act at a lot of times because you're having to watch what you say.
Yeah.
Because you can be popular, you know. I could become, like, depending on what I would say online, I could become, like, immediately insanely popular because of the supposed reach I have. So if I were to say something that people wouldn't want to hear, or, like, I just make a mistake, I would become massively popular. But for the wrong reasons, then it would all go away and I'd lose all of it. So, yeah, when you get larger, you just got to be more aware of how you talk. But
Oh yeah, sure.
that doesn't mean I've tried to make a career out of not flaming people, not going after people, not starting fights, not trying to.
Oh, and you
to
see
burn
the
houses down.
consequences.
I do see the consequences, and making enemies doesn't help. So yeah, just
Like I'd rather not.
yeah, you never know who's gonna do better, like who's gonna like. I don't know. I'm also thinking like business wise, it makes sense, not just from a me being a good person or kind person perspective, but like I don't know who's gonna get big. Like I have no clue. You know, a CG5 Charlie Green. Like I was befriending him back when he was in 100,000 subs. Like just chatting with him, being hey dude, like yeah, let's work, let's do it. And now he's a freaking big freaking deal. You know,
awesome.
But he's a good buddy of mine. Like that's, you never freaking know. You just never know. Like what is it? Why does it cost you nothing to take a little bit of time or be kind or, I don't know. That's me talking
Absolutely.
about. I've spun off into another thing, but
I love that though. It's a very interesting time to talk about that because we are starting to see a lot of the aftermath of a lot of different things. that have happened over the past several years, and we've seen some of the fallout. We've seen people recover.
Yeah, people do.
We've seen people recover, and we've seen people learn and get better. And I'm just like, isn't that what it's all about?
You know, the easiest apology people should do. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go for a while, and then do that.
And then do it. Yeah, and be
literally
sincere.
say nothing else.
Yeah,
like literally
legit.
just shut up.
Easy
and, like,
peasy.
And like peace out for like a year. I don't know. It's always happens to people who I know have money. Like I know, and I'm like, just take a year. Your
Just
YouTube
take some
royalties will be
time to
fine.
fix yourself, man. Like shoot, stop.
Like the
stop
YouTube
replying.
month royalties are about 3 months behind. Like you're gonna be fine. Like even when it happens, you'll still have 3 months worth of revenue. Just people are gonna follow the drama for months. Just say you're sorry, shut up, and leave, and then and then come back in a year or 2 years and apologize again, and then there you go.
Move on.
I don't
Learn.
know. I don't know.
Grow.
Like anyway.
It's like there it is.
You don't need all this auxiliary talk. Like, stop talking. Just stop talking. Like,
look,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for what I did. I'm gonna take a while off. That's it.
Get humble, man. That's
like-
like the humblest thing you could do, I think,
Yeah.
in a situation like that.
Like,
that's it.
That's literally it. You don't need to go into like this 10-minute tirade of like why you're sorry or what happened, or everybody knows what happened. We already know
Yeah.
what happened. You're sorry.
Well-
You're leaving for a while. Okay. See you when you get back. Bye. Okay. Moving on.
People are tired of I think people are tired of talking. Like, people are tired of people talking too much. Like, people aren't doing enough, so they'd rather see them do rather than talk. At some point, there's a time for words, and then there's a time for not.
Yep.
And a lot of times people forget that the time for words is over. Now it's actions.
It's time for action. Let's go.
Well, out of curiosity, because I know I'm coming up on my 3 o'clock little time where I have to peace out here. Was there anything else on the docket that we wanted
No,
to
that was
briefly,
actually like
briefly tap on?
the main topic was like I said, the importance and our perspectives of like how we've dealt with YouTube over the years. I mean, we've hit our.
I could keep talking about Death Stranding.
Pat out the last 10 minutes with Death Stranding. Oh, man.
Oh man.
And you did this voluntarily. I didn't even bring it up.
No,
I did.
Like,
I guess that's
told
1
Jay I
point
was
for
gonna
you,
bring up-
Caleb.
I told Jay I was gonna bring up Canes as a joke, and then we went to like a whole tirade about it.
You know what's funny about the new Pokemon game?
Arceus,
It's really, it's really fun. I was watching Kara, my wife, play it, and she's loving it. She played it for like 7 hours yesterday. She loved it.
Wow.
But the game is very like the big thing that people are talking about right now is like why is it so graphically kind of meh? And yeah, all Pokemon games have been graphically meh,
Right.
But I love people are like using Genshin Impact as like the threshold for quality, and I'm like, Genshin doesn't look that great. Like, Genshin looks fine. Like, you couldn't go and like pull, because see, people are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, because like you can use Genshin Impact as this like threshold of like, look, it looks better than Pokemon, and sure, yeah, it does, but why are you even making a problem? Because look, if you went and go and grabbed like Horizon Zero Dawn or the new one Forbidden West and be like, why can't Pokemon look like this? Everyone would be like, well, it's never going to look like that. It's not
Right.
not a AAA Sony game. Like, they're not going to, you're out of your mind. Why would you think they would spend the money on that? They've never done that. So you have to shift the goalpost to something real dumb and mole-like, which is like, look how good Genshin looks. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Like,
Genshin looks fine.
yeah,
Like,
it's fine. It's what it is.
it's fine. Like, why are you making a big deal out of the fact that Arceus doesn't look that great and trying to prove that it doesn't look that great with another game that only looks marginally better? To like, what problem? What are we doing? What are we doing with our time? Like, well, I don't know.
silly.
Just a moment of like, are we complaining to complain? I don't
I feel
understand.
like that's what a lot of people do now anymore, is like, especially with new games and stuff that come out, it's just like, you're complaining to complain. Like, okay, so like something I had definitely seen a lot of was people complaining about how Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl looked. How they went back to a more like chibi-esque style compared to like
Yeah,
the
that's the
Sword and Shield
style.
that was the few. Like, okay, that's fine. I mean, if that's how they want to go with it, that's how they want to go with it.
It's stylistic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference between stylistic and like They're just trying to make the fact like the world is uninspired. It's very meh. It's just copy pasted and fair. Like you can comment on the merits of a isolated thing, but like the desire to compare it to a marginally better looking game like Genshin,
Right.
like it's the
It's
podium.
like the quintessential high here.
Yeah, like this is a realized world. Is Genshin Impact. Like, no, it's not.
Like,
You kidding? Like the mobile game? That's the realized world. Look, I'm like, if you're trying to say the world looks uninspired, and here's a good example, say it with your whole chest, and just say Horizon Zero Dawn, or say something else. Like, why are you
Breath of
not?
the Wild.
Or Breath of the Wild is stylistically cool, but it's also another like.
Right,
It's
like
fine.
people built it up way too much.
It's
The whole
fine.
thing with Breath of the Wild with the trailer intro, and there was like the new Sonic game that came out, and like it was like Sonic Frontiers, and the way that the
Yeah.
trailer was presented, and so everyone like was comparing it to Breath of the Wild or Genshin and all that stuff. You even retweeted it before they deleted the thing.
No, I retweeted someone said like, oh wow, Genshin Impact, or some game had like such Breath of the Wild had such an impact on video games. It's not
Yes.
even funny because then they'd show Arceus and they showed Genshin Impact.
Yes.
And they show these other ones and it was like,
Field of Grass, and you showed Shadow of the Colossus.
yeah, I was like, bro. And I went and found a screenshot of the 2005 Shadow of the Colossus because I didn't anyone but trying to take me to task by finding a remastered version
Right.
Oh, sure.
screenshot. No, I found a 2005 shot. 2005 is when the game came out, October 10th or 5th.
I still have the 2005 copy
And
of
it's
Shadow of the Colossus.
and I was like, bro, look, I really did enjoy Breath of the Wild, but I'm not about to be out here and give Zelda any more credit than it already gets and deserves. It did not invent open worlds.
No.
It did not invent like sweeping landscapes and exploration. It simply didn't. It really didn't.
I'll tell you
like-
what did though.
What's that?
The opening
Death
shot
Stranding?
of The Sound of Music.
the what?
The
Oh.
opening shot.
Yeah,
of The
yeah.
Sound
I
of
love
Music.
people grabbing other media and being like, no, it started with them. And it's like, okay,
Okay, now you're
Whatever.
just reaching.
like, okay, the Grand Canyon started sweeping vistas. Like, what are you doing?
It was God.
What goalpost are you trying to manifest? Like the the Pangea. That was the sweeping vistas. The Canon DXL camera created sweeping vistas. Like, no, it didn't. We're talking about video games, please. Like, look, this concept art. Like, I don't. No.
Don't compare it to the
Stop.
concept art. Never compare anything to the concept art.
Didn't
Are you
look like the
kidding me?
concept art. They doing that on purpose. The game's not in whatever 17th person far back from the action. Like, no, people are silly. People like to fight. People like to complain.
Alexa is
People like
saying
me.
in chat, like, talking about something that happened in Italy.
Yeah, as is me. Like, I say that people like to complain, and I'm out here like actively complaining about people who complain.
Alexa's
I don't know
Fun,
what
Caleb.
happened in Italy.
It's fun.
Alexa's
It probably
in chat
something really
says,
bad.
talking
You
about
know what
something-
happened in
talking about
Italy? I'll tell you what happened in Italy. There was a secretary meeting. It was like a big government meeting, and it was a presentation. and
Oh,
someone accidentally
shit, I know where
showed
this is
Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Tifa porn.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yep, it was just full on Tifa, just
Oh, that's really
Getting it on.
unfortunate.
right. It was like one of those like computer animated ones, and it was just happening on the screen in this like government meeting. So if you ever see an image of Tifa standing in front of the Italian flag, it's a subliminal message.
And now you know.
Now you know. That's what happened in Italy.
The more we know,
That is
It's wonderful.
wow. That's unfortunate.
that it is something.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
Well, I know I'm having to peace on out here,
Yep.
but I enjoyed this greatly.
Oh yeah, it was. This has been a very
I had a
interesting
great
conversation,
time.
and if possible, maybe we can get you in again next month. Maybe, who knows? I don't know.
Next
how things look
month?
for next month.
Probably give me like 2 months,
That's
but
fine.
like, but I will come back on. I will
This
come
is,
back
it's
on.
already. You've been here 5 times. At this point, you're a regular.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm just irregular.
And
Irregular,
Irregular.
regular. That's
That's
right.
fine. I like the sound of that. It's good.
But thanks, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
the love on the new album. Thanks for having me as always, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll do this again soon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming around.
All right,
Caleb.
y'all. Of course, absolutely. Peace out, guys.
Love you, Caleb. We'll see you.
Love you, man.
And then
There were two. Yeah. Wow.
The mentality,
Oh man,
the shift of like we knew what we were gonna say.
it's incredible. And I will say I got 30 minutes on my clock.
That's fine. We'll probably wrap this up here shortly. Anyway.
That's cool. That's cool.
And then go back to talking shit on Death Stranding off VOD.
I haven't played it. That's the thing. I love listening to Caleb talk about it. Also, I did fix my mic issue. I figured out what the problem was.
Oh, what was it?
It wasn't my interface. It was the actual, like, when you go to, like, audio settings and, like, your control panel.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing Rocksmith, and I was using my microphone to pick up my amp, right? So I could play Rocksmith. Right. And I think it jacked up my levels. It had it all the way to 100, and that's why everything was so loud. And I'm so glad I figured it out.
Heart attack when you joined the voice chatter.
That makes so much sense now. So it's better now. I have it where it needs to be, and this is so much better. I imagine there's no background noise anymore either.
I mean, there wasn't really anything to begin with anyway.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Like, for context, especially when Jay and I had started the call, and I was getting everything set up. I was in the middle of working on my settings on Discord, trying to make sure my microphone and everything were good, and trying to kind of fix up the interface just a little bit, kind of tweak it. And he joined in and said, "Hello, can you hear me?" And it gave me a fucking heart attack. Man,
it was like probably really stupid loud. Now that I know what the problem was, Jesus Christ.
Man. Yeah, that had come through my TV. I'm fairly certain I would have jumped out of this chair.
Oh, that definitely would have woken up your girlfriend. Then shoot.
Well, no, she's actually a fairly heavy sleeper.
That's good.
I probably would have jumped out of the chair and landed on this table right here. And I know you can't see it because my camera's facing really oddly. But we just finished just the other day. We really like doing puzzles and stuff like that, and we just did two.
Cool.
We found a couple puzzles at Walmart and did a couple Pokemon related puzzles.
Nice.
But you could also I have to send this to you as well, Jay, because this is how I have my microphone set up, because I'm using a higher sitting chair than I normally do. This also isn't my desk anyway, so all my stuff is still at my apartment.
Oh, yeah, still moving.
So I was going to use a smaller chair, but I thought now, because where I have the webcam, it's on a TV, it's not going to come through as well. And all I would be is just a floating head. I don't want that. Huh. So I used the higher chair. This is how I have my microphone set up. And it's the funny...
Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to get ready to... Because you're going to send it in the Discord, I guess?
I just sent it over to you.
Let's see.
This is how I have it set up. It's just standing on boxes.
Oh, great! That's so great.
Just
you gotta do it.
I don't know.
When I was doing my Rock Band stream this past week, I was standing up, and my Logitech was not gonna see me, so I had to put my lotion bottle on top of my monitor, and then I had to clip the Logitech
to the
top. I don't know. I'm so dumb. I tried to show you how I clipped it with the thing so dumb. But I tried to clip it. I tried to show you the back of it with the actual ridiculous. But anyways, that's what I had to do. I had to clip my Logitech camera to my lotion, and it worked. It was great. And nobody knew. Nobody knew it was a lotion camera.
I want to get one of those things that Caleb has, because I had seen it, how he has it attached to his desk and it kind of moves down.
Yes, I want to get one too. That is my goal as well, because it's kind of a pain because I don't know. You can. Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah, because I sent you the picture of mine, and that's all it is. It's just a blue snowball mic just on the stand.
Yep. I would love to get it on an arm that I can kind of swing in and out, and then it's out of my way. That would be wonderful.
And this podcast has definitely been one of the better ones. This is not saying that none of the podcasts I've done are bad, but this has definitely been one of the better ones in terms of conversation and actually having a topic going into it instead of just sitting around and bullshitting for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh yeah, sure. No, that was good. That was a really, really good time, and it was great hearing Caleb's insights and all that stuff.
And having him around on these podcasts is always it's a joy. It truly is. He's a very wise man.
Very wise man. He's in his he's in his early 30s. I know that much. We just talked about age. I saw him this last week, and I swear we had just talked about it. I think he's 32. Don't quote me on that, because I don't remember.
I feel like I compared it probably to like putting all three of us in the room. I'm probably the youngest one in the room.
Oh, how old are you?
I turned 27 this year.
Oh, I just got off at 27. I'm 28 now.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, like, I've been trying to just like think about like how to go about doing these podcasts a little bit more, because at the beginning of the year I wanted to. Last year during quarantine, no, it was when the hell was that? It was sometime during quarantine when that whole shtick happened.
Oh yeah.
When was this? Hopefully my audio's not on my phone. It says a year ago, so when was this? 2020.
Wow.
I started a podcast with Ian, his now wife, and our buddy Anthony, and we called it The Weekly What.
The Weekly What? I like that.
The Weekly What? And
that's good.
We called it that because we were just going to do, like, every Saturday we were just going to weekly podcast just to sit there for like an hour and just do something. And it was mostly just Ian and Anthony talking shit on me. But, whatever works, I guess.
The Weekly What, though? That's a great title.
Yeah. I've been trying to think of a name for these podcasts, too. But I got nothing.
I mean, honestly, keeping it just like the Thunderstar podcast. Like, that's fine as it is.
What it's been.
That's fine.
Maybe
I like that.
Maybe something thematic. I'll come up with something.
You got this. You'll come up with something.
I'll come up with something post-VOD. It'll be all right.
That's good.
And it's also good that you've been recording this the whole time in case, like...
yeah, I got you. I've made it a habit. Because I was doing a podcast with my buddy Seth when he does Coast to Coast podcast. And he had a problem. Yeah, Sethimus, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He had a problem. And I was like, shoot, I wish I had recorded it for you, buddy. So now I've made it a habit to, whenever I do stuff like this, I always record. Even streams. Like, I will do, anytime I show up on someone's stream as a guest, I will record the stream too. And it's kind of neat to have my perspective too, if they wanted a different viewpoint.
Right.
It's not a bad idea. And the cool thing about my recording is it has different tracks. So if you wanted to separate my voice from, y'all's, like, that is a option.
Right.
So, yeah.
One of these days, you and I gotta definitely join you on a stream when, like, play a multiplayer game or something, and definitely, like, get both perspectives of it.
Every other Wednesday I'm doing Halo, so you are always welcome, and you know it.
Well, the problem is, I feel like with my computer, at least right now, if I try to stream Halo, play Halo and stream it at the same time, my computer would just fucking explode.
Oh gosh, yeah. Don't kill yourself. Don't kill the computer, man.
Where'd the computer go? Orbit. I don't know how the hell. I got it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, this has definitely been an eye-opening one for certain. This has been.
Yeah, I hope it gives you things to think about. I mean, that's the goal. I know Caleb's goal, whenever he, delivers that kind of information, is he wants people to feel empowered, and he wants people to get out there, and he wants people to create, and he wants them to do it, and he wants them to do it because they love it. Right. That's his whole mission. Is he wants people to do things because they love to do it. He wants people to do that, and he wants people to have gratitude. Even if you do feel stuck, you're valid for feeling that. But at the same time, too, it's like, don't forget, like, you do have subscribers. You have 150 subscribers. Like, isn't that what you said?
134.
134. Hey, you have 134. Like, those are people. Like, those are people that have subscribed. And, like, maybe the view count is not going to represent that, which more often than not, that's the case.
Right.
I'm told with Twitch, I have 435 followers on Twitch. Right, and I think they say less than 10% are actually going to show up, and that's a metric that'll always be, because you'll have like people that have like millions of Twitch follows, but they're gonna get a massive fraction, or that's a smaller fraction of that follow number,
right?
And that's just how it's gonna be. But even still, like, for those 1 million, you'll have 1,000 watching you. Like, that's awesome. That's 1,000 people, or 100,000. I think that's a better description. But ultimately, what I'm saying is like, on average, I'll have like 15 people watching me.
Right.
And that's incredible. Like, I got 15 people taking the time out of their day to watch me play and, be bad at video games. That's amazing. And for you, I mean, you got whatever your metrics are, those are people.
Right.
And
like today,
that's amazing.
I think the peak I had seen was like 13 to 16, I think, in just this alone.
That's awesome.
I think. I don't know.
That is freaking amazing.
I'm very inconsistent with Twitch just because, it's computer.
Yeah, I mean, you got other things that you're doing too. I mean,
That too, yeah.
you got your trading card business, you got all these other things. You're moving right now on top of that. So I mean, it's perfectly understandable, and I think you're gonna find your niche. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
It took me 10 years to even get to a point where I'm at now, where I even feel remotely good about where I'm at. I feel good about where I'm at in terms of the direction I'm headed. It takes time, and I believe that you'll figure it out. I believe that.
And I'm sure I will. And like the background that I have now, this is just down in the living room. We have a spare bedroom upstairs that when I get the rest of my stuff here, that's where I'll end up being for any other like future podcast.
Heck yeah.
Future videos podcast. Another thing I've definitely I can't remember if I brought it up to Caleb. I thought I did at one point, like in. I mean, I'm sure he's probably way too busy for it anyway. I want to try to start a D&D campaign.
That'll be fun. That'll be heckin' fun.
I've run like 3 campaigns already. I ran one based. Our original one was my buddy Kyle, my buddy Sloan, and my buddy Connor, and we ran a Skyrim themed one. There's a Skyrim.
That's dope. That's so dope.
Oh, the amount of nightmares that happened within that. It was like, I know we're kind of. I mean, we still got a little time. I can explain the. I can't remember. Oh no, I put that. Damn, that was my Tumblr days when I was uploading stuff to Tumblr.
We all had Tumblr days.
Our first session, our characters were Sloan was a half elf scholar, or what is that? I think he was a wood elf scholar. And my buddy Connor wasn't in this until like the second or third session. Connor also knows how to just take anything I could throw and just go, I'm gonna do this my way, which I love that when players do that because it just makes it more fun.
There's always that one player.
Oh, Kyle was a half orc, half Nord, barbarian berserker in essence, and his intelligence, like, I let him, like, okay, you can kind of, like, if you take out, like, parts in, you can take points out of one thing and put it into another. He maxed out his strength, but dropped his intelligence to, like, an 8 or a 7. So he's not smart. And he, yeah, you did a lot of dumb things. He went 50 feet into a wall.
Huh.
Ran full sprint, had enough momentum, and rolled just enough to barrel through a guy to tear him to pieces because he was like 6 foot, 300 pounds of pure muscle.
Huh.
Terrifying, really, just terrifying. And ripped through a man and then embedded himself 50 feet into a frickin' wall.
Jesus Christ.
And,
It's chaos.
Connor was a 3 foot tall Khajiit.
Wait, 3 foot tall kid?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's so small.
Oh, his name was Zevran the Small.
I love it.
And they were leaving Riften because Sloan had to go to Riften for something. I think he went there to like get married to an NPC character. Left Riften, they were on their way out when Connor's like, I'm just gonna smack this guard on the ass. Said okay.
Oh my god.
Roll a strike check. Let's see how well.
Roll a strike check. Okay.
He rolled too
Okay.
high and accidentally clawed the guard in the ass. Got thrown in jail. So I gave him the option. I said, okay, so here's the option. Either you can wait the 24 hours to when he gets released, or one of you can go in to get him out. Someone's like, I got this.
Oh no.
Goes into the jail, pays the guard 300 gold to at least go visit him, because he failed the persuasion on that. Went to Connor's character, handed him a bunch of lockpicks, said, here you go. Walked out, was on the way of walking out, stood behind the guard who was sitting in a chair, and it's just like, I want my gold back. I'm gonna sneak attack him.
Oh no.
He and this guard got into a fist fight with the other guards watching, while Connor broke out of the cell, grabbed his equipment, saw a set of guard armor just sitting there, and you know Skyrim, it all conforms to like your body and everything, no matter how tall you are. He put the guard armor on. I told him it was just a little loose fitting because, you know, he's 3 feet fucking tall.
Yeah. Tiny guy.
Walked out Oh no, Tiny Girl.
Ah.
Tiny Girl. He there was another thing he said, but I think Twitch would probably ban me if I talked about that story, so I'll talk about that one off the VOD. That was when they were going into Riften. He went into he went over, he Sona beat the guard, and the other guard's like, "Oh, we should probably arrest him." Connor goes over, he's like, "I want to roll a deception check to see if I can, get Sloan out of here and say I'll take care of it." Roll it. The Riften guard at that point then believed that there was a 3-foot member on their fucking team.
Oh,
He got
my
a 20.
God.
He got a nat 20 on a deception roll.
That is
And they just
amazing.
walked out.
Absolutely clutch. Saved the game.
Oh, God. And we never got a chance to finish that campaign because life got in the way. Most
Life
things
got in the
does.
way. That's how it be.
And then I ran a campaign I ran one with my brother and my sister-in-law. We're still technically kind of running that. We just haven't in forever. And then I'm running another one. It's the one I'm running with my brother and sister-in-law is the Lost Mine of Phandelver and the Dragon of Icespire Peak, kind of merging those two together to make a larger story.
That's cool.
And then this new one that I've been running with Kyle, his girlfriend's son and daughter, and then my girlfriend. We've been running that one in my own world. And I actually have a map of that. I'll send it to you over the Discord.
Yeah, I want to see that.
The progression of how I built this map is actually astounding. This is the completed map of the area right now, or that's the completed map of this area.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's just, I'd send all the progress pictures, but that's a lot of pictures. It's like 8 pictures.
That's still pretty cool though. Holy shit.
It's we've only had 3 sessions of it, and one of the characters almost died.
Woo.
Accidentally knocked another one. Oh God, how could I? Thank you, Squishy, for reminding me.
Goblin in the backpack.
Before we ran the Skyrim campaign, we were doing Lost Mine of Phandelver. And they came across they were right outside a goblin cave, managed to persuade one of the goblins to go with them. And the goblin's like, well, I gotta hide somewhere. So someone's like, all right, get my backpack. So he then became the goblin in the backpack.
Wow.
He became a pocket goblin. It's
Just hiding in the backpack. Little goblin in the backpack.
freaking backpack, and it worked.
I love that.
It worked. I could go on every day, days for the D&D experiences I had.
All the shenanigans.
Oh, it's the best part.
No, it is. That's what it's all about. It's just
It's the
you
best
never
part,
know what
and
someone's gonna do.
then,
And someone could be trying to do something completely sincere and serious, and they fuck it up with a bad roll, and then it's just it's a joke. It's amazing.
It's a joke. I'm gonna be saying I'm gonna joke and accidentally slap a guard in the ass, and shit, I just dug my claws into his flesh. Shit.
Freaking ripped his ass off. That's so crazy.
that was a beautiful day. Or
Man.
Kyle, in the first session that we did, was trying to tame a snow bear for the Skyrim campaign. He was trying to tame a snow bear by jumping
As you
onto
do.
its back, using its warhammer to kind of choke it out to knock it unconscious.
All right. How'd that work out for him?
Took him over 12 tries because he kept bashing it in the face.
Jesus. He's gonna kill the bear.
Oh, it survived. He tamed it. He managed
It
to
worked
tame it
out.
afterward. Ended up accidentally, the bear knocked him off, intimidated him, and I'm not going to go into that part because that's a little... the bear essentially just ripped off, the pants that he was wearing, essentially. Ripped a hole in the pants he was wearing because it bit him on the ass. And let's just say the intimidation tactic worked a little too well. It was not healthy. It was not good.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ended up, he made it though. He made it. he tamed the bear, and we're just how the... fine, DM allows it. I don't give a shit. One of our... The introduction to Sloane's character was hilarious because he was in Dragon's Bridge, went to the inn to get some information, got a salmon steak, was in the process of leaving. He's like, nah, I'm going to seduce the innkeep.
Oh my god.
Fine.
Oh my
Persuasion.
god.
Failed the persuasion. The innkeep told him to leave. So she turned around to walk away. He's like, fine, I'm going to throw the salmon steak at her then. These are just accounts. I did nothing to do this.
Crazy
He
people.
goes to throw it. I said, all right, fine. Strength check. See how hard you throw it.
Oh my god.
Rolls a 1. It slips out of his hand, lands on his shoe. The innkeep sees what happens. As he bends over to like wipe it off his shoe or to like pick up the remains, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was pick it up. She bashed him on the head with the tankard and knocked him out. In the first 5 fucking minutes.
Where'd he wake up?
Next to a pile of hay with a horse about to take a shit on him.
That's good. That's a good meme. That's a good meme. That's some good DMing right there.
Oh, it was... The problem is, like, I want to have a campaign where I'm actually a player instead of being the DM, but I feel like I'm just going to be a forever DM.
It's kind of hard, isn't it? To
Just
kind of break out of that.
But at the same time, the reason why we started doing this campaign with my world is it gives me a chance to also flesh it out more.
Yeah.
And it's good.
That's
I
good.
rambled for too long about D&D. Oh my god.
Nah, you're good, man. I mean, this is a good stopping point, I think. I got to start wrapping up myself. I got to go take out my dog again on another walk.
This was definitely fun. We definitely have to... Even if it's not for a podcast, we definitely got to get together and just bullshit.
Shoot the shit.
Because
That's what
it's
they
fun.
say. It is fun.
If we gotta get Caleb in it too, because I want to hear more of his rants on Canes.
Oh man, he's got good rants, and he has a good use of hyperbole. He knows how to use hyperbole. He's really good at it.
He's good at this.
If he wanted to, he could probably do YouTube videos about just ranting about video games in the same vein as like Donkey would do, or any of those guys. I think Caleb has it in him. I think he has it in him.
I think he could. I think
I think so.
Fair process, I think he'd be able to pull it off.
Because, I mean, he already does on his streams. Like, people will ask him a question about something, and he'll just be like, you know, I do have a thought about that. Let's get into it for 30 minutes.
Let's get into this. His just chatting
Honestly,
streams are always one of my
that's the thing. They are great. They are great. But, yeah, man, it has been good.
Hopefully I'll be able to join you on some Halo again soon.
Yes, again, Wednesdays. I tend to do that. I switch it up. Like, I did Rock Band this Wednesday, but I might do Halo again next week. You never really know with me. Just keep an eye on the space. I'll keep y'all posted when I do Halo.
Well, yeah. I mean, how could I not?
Yeah,
I think I have it set to, like, the notifications go off when you go live. Like, oh, what's he doing?
Oh, hell yeah.
Halo? Shit, I gotta go say hi.
Hey, let's go.
I gotta go say hi to him.
You're always welcome, man.
I might start doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel streams. Maybe, I don't know.
It's a thing right now. A lot of people are playing it. I'm sure you could get some people to play with you.
I have a few friends. I'm possibly thinking about maybe working a tournament in.
Hey, that'd be fun. I love tournaments.
On that yet, though.
Yep, keep that in your pocket.
Oh, it's just
confidential information.
Where do my pockets go?
You ain't got no pockets. Just gonna have to shove it under the bed.
Okay.
There is no bed.
It's a futon. All right. Thank you everybody for coming out and enjoying this. What has it been? Almost 2 hours.
Hey, like you were saying, that worked out.
Yeah, almost 2 hours of great conversation, and also just the last like half hour of sitting here ranting at each other.
There you go.
The opening.
That's what it's all about.
Caleb talking about his despising of Canes and
Death Stranding. There it is.
I know Squishy will definitely disagree with that. But all right, thanks everybody for coming out. We'll see you hopefully next month. I haven't figured out anything. Follow Twitter at Thunderstar5758. Follow the new Twitter at Starfall Cards for anything TCG related. I will be having that. Trying to post on that more, especially when more things related to the store come up. When the YouTube channel is made, I will definitely